like add people into the group or invite people and basically like sub promote, you can start to incentivize dudes and
Yeah,
put them to work.
no doubt, no doubt. Because I got like 70 girls in that chat and like 6 dudes.
Oh, damn.
I mean, the number's pretty good. I mean, I'm not, because I figured it'd be way easier to actually get the dudes.
Yeah.
But I was like, yeah, who's gonna pay for this shit though?
Yeah.
I'm like, girls aren't gonna be paying. So, and the last guy, one of the guys, he said that weird shit in the chat, and so I was kind of like, going through all the guys' profiles and all this other stuff, but I was like, I didn't really know what I was looking for besides like, I mean, what seemed to be a decent person at first glance, because I didn't want people coming in and trolling. But yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just gonna invite some guys that I know into the chat, like from the gym and different things, and then I'm gonna just tell them to invite some decent people too.
Yeah. Warm network is a good place to start. So anybody that you already follow or follows you, anybody likes, comments, and follows is just considered warm. So that would be your warm outreach network.
Yeah.
You can start there. And then whenever somebody's just doing something weird or saying something weird in the group chat, I've just gotten to the point in my life where I just remove them.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I just saw. I was like, what the hell? And then I just removed them.
I don't say anything. I don't hit them up. I don't.
Yeah.
I see it once and I just remove them, and then I might repost the welcome message or repost the event details or something.
Okay. What about people who see your ad that you may have had like some kind of discourse or some shit with? Like, it's not something horrible, but it's also like, you know, you don't really know about them. Do you invite them or bring them in the chat, or do you kind of just ignore them? And have you ignored anybody and they start to like, I don't know, do some weird shit?
I haven't really seen that. You're talking about like a nemesis? You got like an enemy or something?
No, there's a couple girls that I was advertising to that they keep hitting the ad. But they're kind of like, I don't know if I'd want them around, but I don't know. It's just intrusive thoughts. But yeah, that too though. That too, like a dude that I'm not messing with or whatever. Are you like fair game for everybody, or are you like, nah, bro, you can't come?
I mean, I try to just like, block out the haters. But, anytime I get hate comments or people throwing shade my way, I just ignore it and just let it roll off, my back like, water on a duck.
Yeah.
You can turn commenting off on your ads. That's a pretty common thing to do. Like pretty much every ad campaign I've ever had to run for my business, I'll turn commenting off because it's always just negativity.
Yeah.
Like, rarely,
But I mean, like
rarely.
people that I like know in real life, not really like people just trolling on the comments. Like for example, I mean, I guess I won't get too deep in it for the sake of the call, but like I fell out with this dude or whatever, but he always pops up at places I'm at for some reason. So if he was like trying to come and he wanted to pay or whatever, would you personally let him come to your event, or would you be like, nah, I'm not really feeling that?
Someone that like fucked me up or kind of like did me dirty in the past. No, I mean, I would just leave it unseen. I would just like, leave them on red. Like if someone does me wrong or violates a boundary or shows me that they have bad character, I just like don't really respond.
Right. I
You
guess
know?
they didn't do anything directly, but it's like indirect, like borderline on the fence type stuff. I guess I would say, but it's all right. I'm just gonna ignore him. It ain't that big of a deal. I was just curious
Yeah.
what you would say about it.
Yeah, I mean, and if someone like if you're ignoring someone and then it becomes obvious and then they don't know why you're ignoring them, the reality is that they probably do know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like people kind of know better. Like they know if they're doing something right or wrong. Like people know if they're being shady or screwing you over. So I don't really ever feel the need to like break it down and explain it to people unless it just gets like really ugly or really heated, and I got to address it and be like, hey, you know, when
What are we doing?
but yeah, I mean, up until then, I try not to block people either, because like if you're blocking, then that's kind of almost like a little bit like aggressive.
Mm,
You can block these people though. I mean, just block them from Instagram.
okay, for sure, for sure.
It's just all part of the game, man. Like it's pretty impossible not to kind of catch some heat. I always think about how if you're gonna be the president of the United States, people are always trying to like assassinate you and shit. So, it's like anytime you're gonna try to grow or anytime that you're gonna like become anybody, there's always just gonna be some fucking shit that's trying to, hold you back. Just think of it like an agent of the Matrix, man.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Yeah, I guess that was the main part for me. It was just like my reputation. I didn't want to be known as like some weirdo who has like these, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, like someone that's just kind of
Yeah,
just like doing too much or like being a dick or something like
yeah,
that.
yeah. Too anal or some shit. Yeah,
Well, then, I mean, maybe face it head on then and just reach out to the person, man, and just be like, hey, bro, like, I want to let you into this, but like, are we just going to ignore the fact that back in
right.
the day, whatever, yeah, just call them up or something. I don't know, man.
Yeah, yeah. I think I'm gonna just keep ignoring them. It ain't that deep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna want to get some guys in your group because like sooner than later, if it gets really out of whack, women will start kind of like questioning that a little bit, which is we've seen girls just being like, why is this, where's there any guys? There's no guys in this group. Like
Right.
that
Yeah.
might make them feel a little bit like kind of maybe weary. So it can cut against you, like to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Like you said, man, like guys, especially when it comes to like monetizing stuff or selling tickets or doing splits and all that stuff, like guys are the ones that'll pay.
Yeah.
And then yeah, that's the main thing. You
Yeah.
can help, women can help you with things like sponsorships, and you can get women to pay for tickets too.
Yeah. I just
But
figured like at the beginning, I probably wouldn't ask them at first. I think I'd get a couple good events under my belt, and then everybody would be more free game. But to start it off, it'd probably be something smaller, just the guys that first. Yeah.
yeah, something just to get together and kind of pop off a little bit, get some pictures, and get enough to possibly substantiate launching the new events page or
Exactly. Yeah.
social club page. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because with the social club page, there's a lot that you can start doing. You can start running follow ads. You can start running DM ads. You can start posting content, more frequently. You can start creating trial reels in the background. There's just a lot. It just gives you a lot of flexibility.
Yeah. Speaking of those ads, man, those new creators are crazy. It looks so realistic. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, I'm trying to make them even better, man. Something to me, like they look realistic. Like the photorealism is good. It's like there now,
Mhm.
But the photorealism is definitely there. I'm still just tweaking and trying to like figure out like this seems normal,
Mhm.
like this. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like these two are good, but this like the group shots are still like just people aren't really hanging like that, really. I don't know. I mean, maybe
Mhm.
but this looks, even though it looks pretty realistic, it just still seems like the body language and the mannerisms, it's still a little weird to me. So I'm thinking about maybe just starting to test it out where we create these ads and it's like, dope event settings or dope social settings, but there's no people involved. Like just more so like objects and scenery and shit.
Mm.
Like maybe we don't even need to have people included in these ads at all.
Mm.
But we launched this one today. What do you guys think of this one?
I think it looks dope, honestly. I did notice like usually when you're generating them, like if one person's doing something, like almost all of them are doing something. Like
Yeah.
if they're when one person's walking with their left leg forward, then like all of them are walking with their left leg forward sometimes. But that was just me. I think these look dope though. NYC social events for the creative arts. Hell yeah.
I mean, it's pretty realistic, you know what I mean? Like this guy's even got like a little bald spot.
I will say when I'm looking at the ad on my phone for Instagram that uh it I don't know. Everything looks so much smaller. So yeah, exactly. So it doesn't look as good as when they're generated on the computer or whatever. You're just kind of looking at it one off. I will say that, but I've been getting pretty good results. I ran ads just to girls and I ran ads just to guys. I was trying to get business people in with the zip code specific ones. I don't think they liked the ad that I ran, so I paused it. And I'm gonna start running ads just for the guys and use some different creatives. But I got some cool people in there. You know, I got a restaurant owner, some IT guys, and some other shit.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that the group becomes a weapon. You know, once you fill up a chat with 100, 150 people, you can start pulling favors from the group, you know, like who in here knows of or is a photographer. Same thing with DJ. Same thing with, you know, who in here knows of or has a company that wants to sponsor. Like you can start pulling sponsorships and all that stuff just from the group itself, you know. People offer up venues all the time. Like you said, you got a restaurant owner in there, he might tell you to pull up to his spot.
Yeah. A couple of people messaged me separately, was like, man, thank you so much for this group. We haven't even done shit yet. So
yeah, it's good shit.
Yeah.
Just got to get people in there.
Yeep.
We were on today. We're on today and we're sending invitation messages into the group. And then this one lady responds back and she's like, do you mind if I send this link out to my friends? And we're like, yeah, no, I can't do that.
Oh, really? No?
Yeah.
Oh,
No, it's
fuck.
like, dude, yeah, people just, it's just funny how
I definitely let somebody
sometimes
do
it's difficult, you know, sometimes you're like, oh man, this ad isn't working. Like, what's wrong with the creative or whatever. And then other times it's just like, it's too easy where it's, you know, girls are jumping in, they're way too excited. They're out inviting all their friends. And it's like, why are you so stoked? Like you're too excited.
You're too excited. What are you doing? Yeah, I definitely let this girl do that though. I mean, thankfully she only added one person and not like a gang of people, but I was thinking this morning, I was like, I don't know if I should let people do that. And you just confirmed it just now. You know?
Yeah.
A bunch of randoms.
Yeah, let them add them in, man. You know, like especially on your just like your main community chat.
Yeah.
I don't see a reason not to just like get as many people in there as possible for the most part. Because the power is more so in the numbers. Like people are going to obviously go through the list and take a look at all the accounts and see the profile pictures and stuff. But you know, what people are looking at more than the individual accounts initially is like how many people are in here.
Mm.
You know, it's like 100, 150 people deep. That's different than when it's like 5 or 6.
Yeah. Do you shy away from adding like other people who are doing like events and stuff like that in the city, or you just throw everybody in like fuck it?
I try to get them in there.
Yeah.
As long as they don't start posting like posh links to their events and stuff like that without permission.
Okay.
But that's great because you can collaborate with them, like other event hosts, other community owners and stuff. Like not only are you probably going to start getting access to their events for free, but you might be able to start pulling up to their events with a couple, you know, guests for free as well. Mm-hmm. Or it might give you an opportunity to, you know, create like an affiliate link that you send to your group and do like joint ventures. You guys could do a combined event.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, like there really isn't competition if you're thinking about everything collaboratively.
Mm-hmm.
There's enough to go around, you know?
Definitely.
There's enough people and enough venues, enough events. Like you don't got to compete for the same night at the same place. Like Y'all could do something separately, and as long as it's not the exact same, then you're not in competition. You're only in competition if you're selling the exact same thing.
True, true.
And if you're selling the exact same thing as someone else, like don't do that. Like switch it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And so, you can just differentiate it with the names of your events, the way that it's described. And at the end of the day, like people aren't always taking the bigger, better deal. People are mostly going with what they are comfortable with. Like especially women. We were talking about this the other day. Like women don't really just like typically run off with like the random guy to the dopest party. They're probably going to go with like their gay best friends to like the lame pregame. Like they're just going to go with who they're comfortable with and who they're, is just more like safe.
Yeah.
Women like value like safety for the most part overall.
Definitely.
That's where it's like, people, I feel like some guys, when we're working on this, they get annoyed with like, oh man, okay, so we got to launch these ads and then we get these DMs and then, we got to take these DMs and get them into this chat. And then we got to take them from this chat and get them into another chat. And it's like, man, this is a lot of like steps and a lot of work. And it's like, dude, well, we're trying to just like pull people together out of thin air here. We've tried to do it other ways. Like this is the only way that we figured out how to do it in the most effective and efficient way. Because when they reply to the ad, we used to send them directly into the group, or we tested that for a minute, where they just didn't even interact with the account that ran the ad, right? We'd just shove them in there. They just get in a group. And then it's like, now they're not doing introductions and shit. So we got to have that, okay, they replied to the ad, hey, nice meeting you. We've got this private invite list, get in here, drop an introduction. Glad to have you. That makes a huge difference. So it's like, we want everything to be systematized and we want it to be automated, but there's got to be a little bit of like nurture. Like there has to be touch points.
Yeah.
And you got to try to like, make people feel kind of comfortable and welcome. And some of the scripting, like my scripting is pretty nonchalant. It's pretty lazy. But I've also seen guys have a lot of success with just kind of being, really leaning into that like gracious host, like white glove role, where they're like really kind of just leading into this like concierge, like here for strictly, strictly business, like strictly platonic, strictly like this is a service.
Yeah, that's where I lean into. I don't really want to get too wrapped up in clout and all that shit. I mean, I'd rather other people be having a good time more than I'm having a good time, honestly. I'm just here for you guys. That's how I feel about a lot of it.
Yeah, and that's what Javon and Sumed, that's where they did that fashion show, and that's why they did so well, is because like, they approached this like it was a service, like a done for you service for the models, for the designers, for the people that bought tickets. And they were at the event walking around, like asking people what they wanted to drink, like taking drink orders and stuff, like being very gracious, which is, that's a step, that's definitely a step above how I've interacted at events. Like Frankie's, I'll go to the bar and I'll buy shots for a bunch of people and do a cheers and stuff. But it's like, I don't know. I'm not being like super professional.
Yeah.
But, they're
all the way unbuttoned.
Yeah. They're being like very professional about it. Very, very much so. Like we're here for you. And I think that's a good approach.
Yeah, definitely.
Everybody's got kind of their own style and stuff too.
Ever since I started redoing your course or whatever, I've been having a lot of other people's events showing up in my DM or in my feed or whatever, man. Talking about doing the mansion thing coming up, and so a mansion ad had came up, somebody else doing it in Houston, and they had some girl who was like naked, but people were eating sushi off her and shit, and I was like, damn, that's low-key crazy.
Yeah, I've been to parties like that. I've seen that. It just, the thing is you could make that happen. You just got to pay her. You just need sponsors. You just got to monetize the event, and then you can pull all the strings and incorporate all the moving parts, entertainment and stuff. You can do I've been at events where people are like walking around on stilts. You got people that are doing like fire stuff. I think an easy one is like an ice sculpture. That's a really nice touch. Food, pretty easy. I did catering at an event last summer, which was nice. It was worth it.
So as I'm now trying, I know we got a call tomorrow, uh, but as I'm now like thinking about what to throw, like what are like the tiers from like easy to not so easy things to throw, would you say? Like for example, rooftop may be easiest, and then like a fashion show might be hardest or something. Like what would you say is like an entry level one event?
Um, I'd say like entry level, you probably want to shoot for anywhere between, okay. Easiest way to go, man, is probably just try to go for an event where you break even. You don't really try to like profit.
Okay.
And so it'll probably be anywhere between 50 to 100 attendees. You're going to set it up at a local venue. Could be a rooftop, could be a cocktail bar. And the venue that you work with won't require funds down. They would just require a minimum spend, so it's not free, it's just no cost. Probably all that the event will have, it'll be a free event, so no tickets being sold. And probably you'll just have a photographer going around. And that's it.
It kicked me out. I don't know what just happened, but I'll watch it on the replay. Yeah.
Did you hear what I was saying?
That's cool. And don't let me take up all the time and space, guys. Go ahead and jump in with some questions, man. Otherwise, I will definitely hog up Brian's time the whole way through.
Oh yeah, that's all good, man. But yeah, free event. Probably wouldn't have like a step and repeat banner, but it'd still be a good vibe. It's still private. Still a private party.
Yeah, that's a good one. How much are those banners? And where would I get one from? Amazon or something?
Yeah, you can probably get one on Amazon. I would just like Google it, and there's some good. You might even be able to find a place locally. Might be easier, but it's anywhere between, with the stand and the banner, it's probably between like $200 to $600.
Okay, cool.
So that's a nice touch. But yeah, I mean, free event, nice dress code, good pictures, 50 to 100 people. Anybody can pull that off. All right, what else? What else we got? Who's got questions or ideas?
Just listen for a couple weeks, bro, before I get back into it.
You thinking about hosting something?
Trying to get back into it, probably, what is it, end of April? Probably like June, something like that.
Nice.
Trying not to do straight cold DMs.
Yeah.
Around for that.
Say it again.
I was saying I didn't think these guys were around for that. I guess they're all new for the most part.
Yeah, the cold DM days. Yeah.
I remember that. A lot of work, but it was work. So I found my girlfriend actually. Cold DMs. Inviting her to shit.
Yeah, I mean you can still get results. Like the thing about cold DMs is like, you pretty much gotta you should have a really good profile. The ads, it actually like doesn't really matter much. We've ran the ads from a shitty account and a good account. It's like a very similar result. It's actually like almost the exact same.
Interesting.
And then since you're in Tampa, just because we've run campaigns in Tampa, like they just get like spammed with inquiries.
Yeah.
Like Tampa just loves networking.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So
Everywhere you go, like a step and repeat.
Yeah.
I
mean, we could even make it right now, but if you just put one of these out there and it was just like a just Tampa,
right.
Tampa social events, private invite lists, you could probably just like flood a new chat, just chock full of people, all kinds of cool people, and then quickly host something. And with your event hosting skills, you'd be able to, you've done the sponsorships, you know how to do all that,
Yeah.
organize it and set it up. I would probably recommend like go a little bit down the path that I am going to go down for my next event, which is more like the theme and like who it's for. It's geared towards entrepreneurs and passionate people.
What
So
is
the-
that? So entrepreneurs, what do you mean, like passionate people? Like people who are just hungry?
Yeah, that part's kind of broad, like on purpose. That could be kind of almost anybody, but like, so leading with entrepreneurship so that it definitely gives it like a professional,
Mhm.
like reason where there's a ROI tied to time spent. So it's like,
Right.
there's a purpose, it's networking, but it's not just networking. It's kind of Tampa entrepreneur style where it's like, it's more like a social experience.
Right. So there's like a point to the event, basically.
Yeah, that's probably the one thing that I learned and picked up on from the Tampa entrepreneurs guys.
Yeah.
Is that, they don't call it really a networking event. They don't call it a party. They call it an exclusive social experience.
Right.
Which
Yeah.
I think that's like, I think that's dope. Like that's right there in the middle between networking and partying.
Right.
Networking is too boring and partying is too just,
Like too degenerate.
too degenerate. Yeah. But it's like, if it's curated and entrepreneurs, passionate people,
Right.
just an event where entrepreneurs and passionate people come to connect. Yeah. For what reason? No reason in particular, but just to, level up connections and
And the name will be event.
celebrate wins. Yeah, I was gonna do kind of depends on the venue, but I was gonna do a rooftop, and I was
Right.
gonna call it Rooftop Ambition, and the rooftop turned me down, and I had to go to this other cocktail garden and it has all this like plants and stuff. So I was gonna do Garden of Ambition.
Right. Right. I see. So it's trying to like name the event.
Yeah, like really leaning into like the whole kind of like theme or idea around like ambition.
I
'Cause that
think
would-
that's what Tampa Entrepreneurs does is like they call it like a social event, but they kind of nudge it towards entrepreneurship with like the name of it.
right. Yeah.
They give you like that nudge.
Yeah, when it comes to the events, like it's kind of hard to, it's not hard to avoid the entrepreneurship route unless you have like a really clearly defined, sub niche or category that you want to roll with. Like,
Like
Yeah.
real estate or something.
well, because if you think about it, like the events that pop off in Charlotte are like the one that I can think of that's most prominent is Chili Coffee Club, which that's like, wellness,
Right.
but those like sober parties.
Right.
And like, I'm gonna be honest, man. Like, I don't want to host those.
Right. Yeah.
So like, wellness, entrepreneurship, singles. We've had guys run singles. It can work, but it's just kind of, it's not gonna be as like a sophisticated crowd.
Right. Why? What about singles events when guys host it? Isn't like sophisticated.
I mean, you could like, I just feel like we haven't really seen somebody do singles events right, which means that there's a gap in the market.
Mhm.
But like any singles event that anybody's ever been to, man, like especially if it was like speed dating or anything, like it just never really attracts like top tier singles,
Right.
like the truly like cream of the crop. Because I think the top tier cream of the crop singles would probably just like they just wouldn't want to like associate with it.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're at the top like that, if like you're a 10 out of 10 Instagram girl and then, you're this high status guy with all these followers, like I feel like those people it's not like a pain point for them because it's like,
Yeah. Like they're loving being single. Yeah. They're enjoying it. Yeah. They're not trying to like solve that problem.
Also comes off as a little desperate.
Yeah, it can come off as a little desperate, like you're single and you don't like being single, or you don't want to be single anymore. So there could be that, but I think that it's not that. I think it would have to just be branding. And I think the reason that it's kind of avoided is because like how do you brand a singles event for like only the hottest people? Like it would probably come across as pretty uh what's the word I'm thinking of? You know, like
Superficial.
like or was it what did you say?
Like vain
Superficial.
in a way.
Yeah, superficial or just yeah, vain. You know, like only for the hottest. Only this is only for the hottest singles in the city. Like if
Yeah,
you're
They love
yeah,
shit like that though. I don't know. I feel like people love shit like that though. Like things that are
but
like
those are the ones who don't need that.
you
right,
get
right.
backlash. You know, you'd get a lot of pushback. That'd be kind of a polarizing thing. You definitely get pushback
Yeah,
because now you're kind of being like too exclusive and you think you're hot shit and like people might be like, yeah, I don't want to like get involved in the drama. One
right.
idea that I had that I thought was it would just take effort. There was this singles group that reached out to me to collaborate for a singles event. And I was like, fuck, man. Like, all right, if I'm going to do this, like, how do I want to do this? And I thought of this concept called Access Approved, where it's like this event, right? But singles have to basically like sign up and register for the event. And then there's an interview where like they get interviewed by two people of the opposite sex. And then it's like documented.
Pretty cool.
So like if you want to be in the event as a dude, you know, you register and part of the process is you got to like go sit down and two girls are going to be like, so like why should we approve access? And you got to kind of like,
Qualify yourself.
yeah,
That
like have,
sounds
like
fire,
have
low
some
key.
charisma.
That would be some good content right there. I feel like that would be some fire content.
It'd be some fucking fire content. It'd be like some reality TV shit.
Yeah, yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. Also, man, the branding matters so much because, like you say, you know, it positions like what part in someone's mind, like where they rank it and how they feel about it for sure. I was listening to the call from I think it was last week or something, and there you guys were talking about like the talent house and how it
Mm.
had just like a bunch of creators and entrepreneurs or whatever, and that sounded pretty cool for a theme because it's like, you know, it's not necessarily like networking like you said, but at the same time it's not degenerate like a damn, you know, oh, it's a house party. So I was kind of liking that the talent house idea. I was gonna look that up some more. Was that you who said you went to one, or was that Javon who said they went to that?
Yeah, I mean, I stumbled across the talent house thing. I did something similar myself, and it was pretty legit.
Yeah,
It's more like a work. It's kind of like almost like a live workshop.
like some Ty Lopez type shit.
Kind of, yes. Well, different. His is more business mastermind with like speakers and lectures, and I did that too. But yeah, similar. Yeah, definitely. I had we did a couple speakers the day before. It wasn't the same day as the event though. But the day of the event was, yeah, I mean, the premise was like indoor, outdoor house party, brands looking for content and exposure, models looking for content and exposure, you know, regular people that wanted to just, you know, come hang out and network, and then, you know, food and drinks, DJ. Yeah, and it was cool. I did it in Scottsdale, and my show rate was like, I think it was actually right where it was supposed to be. It was like at 50% on my list. So I felt like it was a little light. I could have probably promoted it a little harder, but that's on me. So it could have been,
For sure.
I'd have liked to have it like way more packed out, but it was a good turnout and it was a good vibe. It definitely felt a little bit more just kind of the overall vibe of it was definitely more house party, like people taking shots, people getting fucked up. There was some content shoots going on. I think to do it better, you'd have to, you know, kind of almost like the whole fashion show thing, you'd have to really be playing that role of like organizer, you know what I'm saying? Like figuring out, okay, you know, this shoot's going on over here at this time, these models over here, okay, this brand come here. You're going to be going around and you're going to be like busy during the event. And
Yeah, I don't really know if I want to be like super busy. I think I'd like to get somebody to help with that or something. But yeah, I don't know, because I already got a personality where I can like, I don't want to like start to like hover over people and try to like micromanage like like making sure everybody's good and all that shit. I just kind of want people to vibe and not necessarily have it be too reliant on like what I'm doing. But at the same time, you know, I want to be like in a back room watching from the TV or the cameras or some shit. Like, yeah, hell yeah, this is going good. Versus, you know, being all in the mix and whatnot. But yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you got to really define what you're trying to get out of it, you know, and what your goal is, because there's just like so many things you could focus on. For me, it was always, you know, in all my events I do here locally and stuff, like it was always just for dating. So I just wanted to set myself up to like, you know, get everything kind of planned and get everybody to come together. And then once it was happening, I wanted to just check out and just go into fucking like autopilot and just run game, basically.
Hell yeah.
You know? But that's because like on the side, you know, I mean, especially now that I have this brand and stuff, like that's like I'm building. So like maybe if I didn't have this, maybe I would have kept going in a different direction. So as long as you feel like you're building whatever it is that's meaningful to you, then, you know, just lean into that. Like Javon and those guys, like they don't, I guess like what I'm trying to say is like, if I didn't have my New City Mastery, I'd still be like doing, it'd be something else. Like I'd be trying to do it something else some other way. But it's like, because I have this, like I have my thing that I'm building, that I'm growing. Like if I host an event now, like I can afford to just like not worry about being the most gracious host, because I don't really got to like build that.
Yeah, definitely.
Depending on what you got. It's like, you know, if you're me, you know, 4 years ago and the events is all you have, I probably would have taken it way seriously.
Yeah. And so pretty girls and higher value guys is not a want necessarily. That's almost like a means to an end, right? If I'm looking at this right, like a want for like what direction I wanted to go in would be more so like if I wanted investors or something like that, like because right now I feel like a lot of the girls are introducing themselves and what they do. I'm like, man, if a guy who's like really doing something comes in this group and sees this shit, I mean, he might be like, hell yeah, there's, you know, hot girls in here, but he's gonna be like, man, this ain't no networking group for me. This is more so like, I don't know. I guess if I want to go out or pop out or something, but I guess that still has value to them too, at the same time. But yeah,
Yeah. So, I mean, my thought process on that, and this is just coming from, you know, having like run this process so many times over with so many different people in so many different cities. Like, you're always better off just getting as many people into that group as quickly as possible and hosting your first event as quickly as possible, as opposed to trying to spin your wheels, like curating the perfect community and curating the perfect event. Spending time, spending money, you know, tweaking ads, like just get people in there and do your first event, you know, get that content, you know, get some of those initial connections. Even if like you're better off just hosting an event on week 2 with a ton of mid-tier people than hosting an event on week 6 with like,
right.
because like you can all you're gonna build up to it, you know, like
Yeah.
you know, like the event hosting strategy, you can like reach your goals from one event, but it's something that you should probably do like every month or every quarter, like forever.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely want to have it be a part of my like trick bag, you know, things that I do to, you know, stand out and build a moat around like my uniqueness. But no, I definitely feel that too. I feel that yeah, it's better just to be done than fucking trying to make that shit perfect.
Yeah, because you're gonna be able to build upon it. Like it's pretty much impossible to get nothing out of an event.
Yeah, definitely.
Like it's almost impossible. Like
Yeah.
you'd have to be a very special type of person to like host an event and just get nothing out of it.
Yeah.
Like
And if nothing else, shit, you get the clout. Shit, you get recognition. It's
yeah,
always
man.
cool when you go somewhere and somebody knows you and you don't know who they are. Hell yeah. Oh, I came to your thing that one time. Oh, for hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, just those extra couple conversations, extra couple reposts on the story. You know, one good story repost can get your name in front of, you know what I mean? It's like you got to just do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, first event, that's what I would do. Like just kind of based on what you're saying, like with where you're at, I would just try to make your first event pretty easy. I'd just do a free event, no ticket sales. Just get as many people in the room as possible.
Yeah.
Get it set up with a venue so that they come in and they spend. You don't have to spend anything. And from there, man, like that's, you know, you talk to Javon and Samed, that's when the opportunities start flying in. Because, you know, did it, and then people kind of like they don't get competitive or jealous, but maybe there's a little bit of that, but all of a sudden they want to collaborate. Like people are going to be trying to ride your coattails. They're going to start throwing opportunities at you.
Yeah.
You're going to start getting access to the next venue. You're going to get an offer to do the next thing, and you just, you know, you build on that.
Hell yeah. I'm glad you said that, because I was like, a part of me was tweaking just a little bit. So I'm like, I don't know if I'll be able to sell something the first time. I feel like I should just do something for free. But a part of me was like, man, I don't want to do something for free though, because I want to make some money. Because I was doing those photo shoots a couple years ago, and I didn't really get shit out of it. I met some people or whatever, and that was cool, I guess. But you know, I want to make some money. I want some real connections. I want to be able to get into exclusive spots myself. You know, that's really what I want.
Well, I mean, you can definitely make money. You can, like, at the very bare minimum, get a big ass group going, speak to a venue, set up some exclusive space. We'll take a look at their minimum, and then if nothing else, anything above their minimum gets split.
Okay. Hell yeah.
So at least food and beverage.
Definitely.
You know, and we try to get 50% of anything over the minimum. Most people won't go for that. They'll be like, that's crazy. And then you'll be like, all right, well, like, what's the deal? Some of them will be like 5%, 10%. You'll be like, okay, well, that's crazy. Like, do 15.
Yeah.
You can do that, get that set up, and then you might decide, all right, how do I, depending on the split that I got, how much potential revenue is there? And if it's kind of on the lower side, like, oh, okay, I'm not going to make much on food and beverage, maybe then you decide, okay, I will make this thing ticketed. And maybe it's not too much, though. Maybe it's, 5, 10, 15.
Yeah. Okay, hell yeah. Anyways, man, I just pulled up to the gym, boys. Hey, y'all take care. We'll see you on the next call. Keep
All
doing
right.
your thing. Yep.
Mauricio, you got a question, man?
Yeah, I had a couple questions. Hey guys, on the sponsorship, I'm getting a sponsor for I'm setting up my first event next month on the 21st. I'm going to meet up the venue host manager on Sunday. So getting sponsors, I was thinking, should I hire a virtual assistant to reach out to like sponsors throughout the city and see if I can try to book a sponsor for that event, or should I just call sponsors or just businesses and see if they are interested in giving me money for this event?
Yeah, so I would start with, am I sharing my screen? No? Okay, let me share my screen. So this is what I would do if I was you. I mean, I would just, this is always the best place to start. Give me a list of 20, small local brands. It's going to be in South Beach, right?
Right.
And then it's creators and entrepreneurs, right?
Yes.
So I would go here. And the second place I'd go is within the group. So like within your chat, you could put a poll in the chat that says who has a business that wants to sponsor our next event, or who has a business that wants exposure at our next event. Just a yes or a no poll. So we'd script it out, but it's basically who here, like who either has a business or knows of a business that wants to sponsor the next event. So it's like a referral or just a direct call to action. People within the group, that's a really good place. These are some like brands that I've never heard of, but I mean, you've got a list right here, and I'd say give me all the phone numbers and emails for each. So Chad will give us the phone numbers and emails for these brands. Um, Looks like that didn't work. In any case, man, we could definitely, you can come up with a list pretty easily.
Mhm.
And then just, yeah, I mean, a basic email outreach.
Mhm.
I don't know if you'd get a virtual assistant for that. I'd probably just sit there and copy paste, 10, 15 emails. So I'd start with that, and then I'd put a poll into the chat, like into your community.
Just call of action.
Yeah, I would just do a poll. I'd just be like, who has a brand or knows of a brand that wants exposure at our next event? And then just a yes or a no. And then the people that say yes, I'd just DM them and just be like, what you got? Like, what's the brand? And then there's a basic and then a premium. Basic is 500, premium is 1,000.
Got it. Now, if I have two, so I also was, I got a pretty sweet deal with this other event. It's not my main event. Okay, so it's later on in the month. It's a fashion show during swim week. The organizer said, if you bring a sponsor, you just keep all the sponsorship to yourself. It's during swim week. I'm like, all right, I can just, I just bring a sponsor and I keep the sponsorship money. I think that's a pretty sweet deal. And it's at the Hilton on 5th Street in Ocean. Do you think I should double up on the sponsorship contact with my event, either and also offer that? Or should I just keep it different channels?
Yeah.
On
Yeah. I mean, I would just say like, be prepared for them to be prepared to pitch them to sponsor this event and then not do this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how likely a brand is to sponsor, like and sign up to sponsor two events back to back, depending on how aggressively they want to sponsor. But I would just, the first place I would check if I was you is just in my chat. Like, probably sounds like a good time to put a poll in there. Say, hey, by the way, who's got a brand or knows of a brand that wants exposure at future events, and just see what hits get on that, and then probably start chatting with a couple of them, and then if they're legit, maybe hop on a call or just tell them we've got a couple of events. You want to do both or just talk about one?
Right. I can just combo like a deal.
Oh yeah.
And I can maybe, if they don't want to do the first one, I can say, hey, there's even the following weekend is more exposure since it's Miami Swim Week and it's at the Hilton. It's a lot more exposure for your brand. I can sell them on that, and or I can combine the deal for both on some type of combination for both of them. Since I'm pocketing that second event all the sponsorship.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I mean, you could present it as like, basic is one event and then premium is two events.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, and I can use a backdrop for both.
You could.
Mm. All right, that's good brainstorming. All right, that sounds good. Appreciate that info.
Yeah. And Frankie's got some experience with sponsors. Frankie, you want to chime in on that? What do you have to say about like sponsorships and how did you find your last sponsorships?
Yeah, so with sponsorships, so for the Shelby event, we had two sponsors. One was the old company I used to work for, MLP, right here. And then the other one was Glute Station, which is like a woman's like Pilates studio type of thing. So when I was looking for sponsors, basically I asked myself, I'm like, what's in it for them? Because they're not going to sponsor an event where they're not going to get any value. So I was like, all right, it's going to be an event with a bunch of girls from Shelby Sapp's program. So they're girls, they do sales. So my company that I worked for at the time, they were aggressively looking for sales reps. So that was their pain point. That's how I provided value to them. Let me put them in a room full of sales reps. And then for the Glute Station, like studio, whatever it was, the Pilates thing, the room was full of Shelby Sapp's girls. So the value for them was a room full of girls and then Shelby Sapp reposting it on her story, just with the step and repeat in the back. It was like free marketing on Shelby's account, basically. So yeah, that's what I would, just advise. Just ask yourself what's in it for them, and then just use that as a selling point.
And then did you like come up with who you should reach out to on your own, or like you just thought of them, like kind of?
So because me and Audrey, we did that together. Now, the whole reason for the event in the first place was because me and my offer at the time, I knew they were looking for a sales rep. So I got kind of lucky. Like they did put like pretty much all the money up. And then Glute Station put in, I think, anywhere from like $500 to $1,000, give or take. So the event was like specifically hosted to get those sales reps in the room. What was the original question?
I guess like, how did you decide? Like, you decided to reach out to these people, and you kind of like handpicked the sponsors yourself, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like you had to think of like who would be a good fit for this, and then
Yeah, I think trying to think back because it was so easy because my offer, the event was for them specifically, even though nobody really knew that. But like,
you didn't have to. I guess what I'm asking is like, you didn't have to reach out to a ton of prospects.
not a huge amount, because I knew my offer was going to just cover whatever the remainder of the cost was. I was just asking more sponsors just to make the load a little bit easier on them.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But when reaching out for sponsors, I was in the back of my mind like, all right, like who wants a female audience? Who would benefit from like Shelby posting on her story, something like that. So there was like some thinking of, all right, who can benefit from this audience, basically.
For sure. Okay. Yeah, I mean, and that makes sense too. You know, if it's a room full of women, Pilates studio, probably pretty good fit. Other than that, yeah, I mean, I know about email outreach and then using AI to automate that. So from within the group, probably the best place to start, and then email. And then it sounds like for you, it was kind of like, you had some personal connections. And how did you know about Glute Station? Like, did you know the owner, or like?
Honestly, bro, Tampa is so small. Like, you see the same sponsors everywhere. That's another thing. At these events in Tampa, like, you'll see the same sponsors at every event. So just reach out to people. I'm not sure. It looks like he's in Miami.
Yeah.
Look at the events that are in Miami, and you're going to see like a lot of common sponsors. That's how it is in Tampa. The same company sponsor every event here.
Yeah, and people probably have like sponsor lists and stuff like that too, huh?
Yeah.
I wonder if there's like a database, or if there's like a event sponsors like hub.
I don't know. I mean, a hub might sound realistic, because a thought popped in my mind is like, all right, why not just go ask hemp entrepreneurs, for their list? But like, then we'd be taking sponsorship money away from their sponsors. Not that, I compete with TE, but like, just as like an example.
Yeah, that's a good point though, is look at brands that are already sponsoring events.
Yeah.
And that's just a function of attending events.
There was an event here that me and Jeff hosted like 2 years ago when we first moved here, a year and a half ago. And the way I found the sponsorship list, because TE was like maybe 2 months before, I just remembered, hey, I have this event coming up in 2-3 months, whatever it is. So I just wrote down like all the companies that sponsored it. and then I just emailed them like a month later. So I
Yeah.
guess they technically took their sponsorship list, but
Yeah. And you got some decent email responses back, or?
I got some decent ones back. I don't think we got any just because I, one, waited too late, and two, I didn't have the skills that I have now. That was my first time living in a city. And I was like 4 months into living in there.
Yeah. So email outreach, probably do some IG outreach, but yeah, I mean, it's probably good. It's just a matter of doing some outreach.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know.
Definitely.
Thank you. That's good sauce.
Sure.
All right, boys. That covers it for today. We're at the top of the hour here. Let's have a good week. I'll see you guys on Thursday. Any other questions, just hit me up in the Discord.
See you later.
Thanks for joining. Peace.